Welcome back to my YouTube channel and to my train room. If you were watching last week, you will know that I have got the Walthers city station approximately half built. All the walls are in place and the soffit panels have been test fitted. Follow along now while I continue with the structure. I put the 4 ceiling pieces in, 2 long narrow ones and the 2 square end pieces. It was a bit of a pain to get them to fit, and there's a gap here. They don't fit at all well, so what I'm going to do is cut a piece of 20th house styrene, glue it in, and then when the glue's dry just file it off so it's a good fit. Got to get the bottom flush because I won't be able to file it when it's glued in. All the other edges are accessible. I think that's a fairly good fit. Let's just glue that in place. I'll be fairly generous with the solvent and also generous with the drying time, so I can't touch that until tomorrow morning now. Well, I've left the structure overnight, so this piece that I inserted in the gap is nice and hard. So now all I have to do is cut it off flush with the shape of the rest of the pieces. I'm going to cut away most of it with a knife and then finish it up with a file. I need a better selection of files here. And there we are. Once I've touched up the paint, I think that repair is going to be just about invisible. Another thing I did last night was prep the roof sections. I sprayed them with a grey primer and then I went over with a much darker grey just to give them a base coat. I will finish the painting and rain streaking in situ. Right, that one goes over the baggage roof. It's slightly larger than the one over the canopy. And then these two are also handed. The one with the tall dormer goes on the rail side. But they don't quite touch those end walls. I guess there's other pieces I have to assemble first. Maybe I should install the glazing now. All the glazing panels have locking pins, or rather all the windows have locking pins that fit into holes on the glazing panels. I'm not quite sure whether I like this method, because it's not as easy to feel whether or not the glazing is hard up against the frame. I think those are. Right, note to self, next time I get a kit with locating pins on the windows, I am going to sand them all off before I do any assembly. And I'm sure you don't need to watch me do all of them, so I'll just turn the camera off and I'll be right back. Well, I think I'm ready to now attach the roof sections permanently. I had to make a little adjustment to this panel here because there was a gap there and it was also very tight between those walls. So I scraped this edge off and that corrected both problems in one go. They now fit together quite well. Anyway, before I go and glue them in place permanently, I want to take care of one minor detail. Where the dormers go on, there will be two areas that are completely sealed off, and another area in this section of roof here. Because of the vapours from the solvent I'm using, I've always drilled a hole to make sure that there's no sealed areas. I want to allow the vapours to escape rather than cause differences in air pressure that might possibly cause something to warp. So let me just get a drill and make those holes quickly before I forget. I'm just going to drill one hole in the middle of each dormer. And I'm going to put one in this gable here. Okay, now there can be no possibility of the vapours building up pressure and causing warpage. Well, there's the four main roof sections attached. Now I have two dormers to build up. The tall one goes on the rail side and the short one on the road side. Oh, that's weird. It looks like these parts are designed to fit on the end of the roof instead of underneath it. Which is totally not the way that real buildings are put together. Because any dormer built this way would have problems with the rain getting down between the roof and the fascia board, and it would rot out in no time. So that's obviously the way the kit is designed. I don't see an easy way of modifying it. I think what I'll do is just paint the top edge of the fascia the same as the roof colour, so it's less noticeable. Well, there's only a few things left to do now. I've got these four corner trim pieces to install. I've got the chimney to build and the dormers to install. I don't think it really matters what order I do it in, so I'm going to start with the dormers. And unfortunately it's impossible to glue those from the inside, so I'm just going to have to accept the fact that the solvent is going to run down the roof and then touch up the paint later. Well, unfortunately the camera ran out of space right before the end, and I didn't feel like pulling those last two pieces off so I could re-glue them on camera. This video's already plenty long enough. So anyway, I'm just going to wind it up there. I hope to see you again next week, where I will be putting the structure on the layout and starting work on the many details that are still currently missing. So thanks for watching, and bye for now.